Did you hear about Oumuamua?
No.
Okay. So Oumuamua is in 2017, a large asteroid traveled through our solar system. But for the first time ever, scientists were able to see that the shape of this asteroid has never been seen. Okay. It looked like a very long pencil.
Oh, I think I've seen it online. I've seen, like, again, what's online, what's real. But
yeah. But with that being said, its properties did not match anything that an asteroid generally would, including it did not emit any type of gaseous trail, okay, which is very unusual. Also, when it passed through our solar system, it changed course, which is normal when it's impacted by gravity, but it sped up on its way out, which is very, very unusual. And based off of this information, there are some scientists that believe it's silly to rule out that this couldn't have been technology.
So why do you think up until recently people were painted as crazy if they believed aliens existed?
The same reason why I believe any new venture or any new aspect of knowledge and knowing something and challenging what's the status quo is always going to be looked at as crazy. It always has been the case. I mean, think about these great scientists that were locked away.
Did you know the periodic table was created?
Pardon me?
You know the periodic table was created?
How?
Yeah.
I don't.
In a dream.
Okay. I think I've heard of that.
Like, how do we know things like that and still question, like, if... I know that maybe they're not...
Like that, but you got to wonder, is all this information locked away in all of our minds?
Yes, I think 100%.
And it's just a matter of some people have wiring in a way that allows them to access it.
I don't think it's locked in our minds. I personally believe there's a dimension out there where ideas live.
And your mind can just connect to it.
And depending on how tuned you are, more can come in.
Yeah, it's interesting.
In certain ways.
And, you know, like this parent asteroid... reflected light, and this is how they saw it. Obviously, this is how they see most things. But when it reflected light, it reflected in such a way that made them realize that it was not an actual spinning mass. It was a flat, either a disc-like, very flat object, or a very long object, because it was almost like it looked like this the entire time. And I think that's really crazy to think.
Again, I don't think there's any I think the possibility of us being the only life on a planet in the entire galaxy and the entire universe is...
So one thing that I don't like about this is that so many scientists are actually against the thought that this could possibly be technology.
But how many scientists were against Galileo? Like, there's a fear. I'm telling you, I think fear is what holds...
They want to get funding. Right, and you're not going to get funding if you're seen as a crazy person.
That's a whole other thing. Money and science.
So you got to start to think: how much can we trust science, and how much can we trust the research that's coming out that is possibly biased or one-sided or focusing only on certain aspects?
So I'm in health, and what brought me to realize what you're saying. So Montauk Chia, when he taught us something called the 6 healing sounds, and according to Taoist philosophy or Chinese medicine, each organ has a different emotion attached to it. So the healing sound that you emit clears the organ of whatever negative feeling it will hold. So liver is anger, kidneys is terror, heart is hastefulness, lungs is depression, spleen is anxiousness, and then your stomach, dantian, is like just a calming sound. But then the sounds linked up to different planets, and they were able to actually, with science, prove that the sound emitted from the planet equaled the sound that you're emitting, so that the organ is linked to a different planet.
Interesting.
So how did they know that 2,500 years ago?
I don't know. And you got to wonder.
And how did the Chinese medicine understand the meridian system?
Yeah.
Where they're like, oh, if you have no kidney energy, you're exhausted, and kidneys adrenal, and we're discovering adrenal.
And that's a 5,000-year-old system that has been proven through science to actually have medicinal proof and properties to it.
So the way Montauk describes it is everything's fractal.
Yeah.
And we have a microcosmic orbit in us that you need to work on. And the better you work on your microcosmic orbit, the greater health, creativity, joy you'll have in your life. But then there's a macrocosmic orbit of the galaxy, of our solar system, then of the galaxy, then of the universe, and everything's intertwined. And they've spoken about this for thousands of years, and that was without technology trying to prove it. So why is that so occult knowledge?